Hey everyone, it's Jordan, and today I'm going to be doing the Netflix book tag. So I've done this 3 years ago, and I'll link my last time I did this in the corner or down below, as well as the original video down below. Basically, with this book tag is all about Netflix and all that. I had fun the first time I did this, and I thought I would do it again to see if my answers changed since the last time I did this tag. So let's get to the Netflix book tag. So the first question is, recently watched the last book that you finished reading, and the last book that I finished on the day that I'm filming this video is Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab, which is the second book in the Cassidy Blake series, and I love this series so much. I've read Sea of Ghosts last year during the Halloween season, and I just really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed reading this during this Halloween season. Hopefully I'll read the third book in the next year, hopefully, just because I love the series so much, and especially when it has ghosts in it, and that's the only books that I kind of horror books that I like, is when it features some good ghost stories. So yeah, I highly, if you're looking for a spooky middle grade to read during the Halloween season, I definitely recommend the Cassidy Blake series. So the next question is top picks, a book or books that have been recommended to you based on a book that you previously read. This one, I actually, no one has recommended to me, but from the synopsis, it sounded like a Romeo and Juliet kind of story, which is the love story by Lonely, and I love this book so much, and it's definitely a lot of Romeo and Juliet vibes, and they actually brought up Romeo and Juliet in this book, and I just really love this book so much. And if you're looking for a cute contemporary book, I definitely recommend it. And if you also love food, I would definitely recommend this because it's such a cute story. And the next question is, recently added the last book that you bought. I honestly bought a lot of books recently just because the bookstore by me, or Barnes & Noble I should say, is moving to a new location. So the location that is near where I live is closing. So like the last book that, one of the last books that I recently bought is Lake's Edge by Lindell Clipstone, and apparently this is like a haunted mansion kind of story, and it's about a main character whose brother who possesses forbidden magic, and then things happen to them after that, and it's really caught my interest, and I think this was featured in a book box, but I don't remember which one, but it's caught my eye, and plus I really love the spooky cover of it, and I'm like, maybe I'll read it this month or during the spooky season soon, who knows, but this really grabbed my interest because of that, and that's why I bought it. And the next question is, popular on Netflix books that everyone knows about, two that you've read and two you haven't read or have no interest in reading. I thought I'd talk about the books that I have read that were very popular recently. I'm not going to talk about the ones that I have no interest in them, just because I sometimes change my mind about trying out books. But the two that was very popular in BookTube, especially last year, are These Violent Delights by Chloe Gunn and Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I love these books so much, and these have been popular, and I did not read them when they first came out, but I read them this year, and I just love them both, and they're few of my favorite books of this year for sure. And the next question is, comedies, a funny book, and there's a lot of books that has written as comedy, but there's some books that isn't comedy, but they're characters that made me laugh. But the book that I picked for this one is The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. I just love this book so much. The characters just made me laugh every time I turn a page and read whatever they're saying. It just makes me laugh every time, and I just really I also love this as well. This is one of my favorite books of this year, and I just can't wait to read the sequels of this series. And the next question is, dramas, a character who is a drama king or queen. There are a lot of books that I've read that are dramatic. I'm not sure if some of the ones that I read this year are dramatic, but the one character that I know of that is such a drama queen to me, which is Cal from Seafire. I think that's her name. Yeah, she's just such a drama queen, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't like her, and I just like more of the Reiner characters than her, just because she's so dramatic to me. And I still love the series because I read the sequel this year, and it's gotten better, but I'm still not a fan of the main character because she's so dramatic. But I just love the minor characters more, just because or the side characters more, just because I just love him more than the main character, but this main character is so dramatic, and hopefully she's not as dramatic in the last book of the series. And the next question is, animated a book with cartoons on the cover. I usually know that there's some books that look cartoony, mostly middle grade, but the book that I picked that is like the most cartoony book that I own as far as I know is Story Thieves by James Riley. I mean, the cover does look cartoony, and I would love to, if they form this into a TV show, I would love to see this art format on the screen, just because it's a very gorgeous artwork, and it's the most cartoony ones that I own so far, even though I probably have more, but this is the one that I picked for this question. And next question is, watch it again, a book or a book series that you want to reread. There's a lot of books that I want to reread, because I know one of the book type questions that I had previously was what book that I want to reread, and I picked this Nicholas Sparks book, but I'm not going to pick another one. But the one book that I definitely would love to reread, especially when it's my favorite book series, even though I didn't like the last book, which is Everland by Wendy Spinelli, and I just love this series so much. It's just a Peter Pan retelling, like in a dystopian setting. That's all I want to tell you guys, and each of us sequel. Each book in the series is a different classic, and like the second one is Umberland, which is Alice in Wonderland retelling, and the last one is Ozland, which is obviously a Wizard of Oz retelling, and I just love these series so much. I love this series so much, and I haven't seen many people talk about it on book 2, but it is one of my favorite trilogies of all time, and I do hope that I would reread in the future just because I love them so much. And the next question is documentaries, a nonfiction book you would recommend to everyone. I have not read any nonfiction this year. I would love to recommend a nonfiction book, but the only one that I could think of is some of the ones that I've read for a class in college like a few years ago, but I thought I would read a nonfiction book just to recommend a new one, but as of right now, I don't have any nonfiction books that I would recommend other than the one that I've answered in my previous time that I did this tag. And the next question is action and adventure, an action-packed book. I was trying to, this one's tough too for me this time, just because I'm trying to remember which book that I've read this year that is such action-packs other than some of the ones that I've already answered, but as of right now, I don't have an answer to that one either, just because I can't remember what books that I've read recently that is action-packed other than some of the ones that I previously read, so yeah, I don't have an answer to this question either. And then last question is, new releases, a book that just came out or will be coming out soon that you can't wait to read. And the book that I picked for this is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, who is the author of the Caraval trilogy. I just really was so happy to have this copy on me just because it's one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and also she says takes place in the same world as Caraval, but you don't need to read the Caraval series before you read this one. And I all I know about this one is about that's all I know about it, and I just really just can't wait to read this because I love Stephanie Garber's previous books, which is the Caraval series, like I said, and I'm just really can't wait to pick this up just because I'm so excited to read this. So that's all for the Netflix book tag. I'm not going to tag anybody. If you want to do this tag, go right ahead and do this book tag. But anyways, if you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below what Netflix movies or TV shows that you recommend me. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so we notify when I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!